Bruh.
All right, y'all.
We're back.
Hey, it's our first podcast. Uh, we're Black and White Randomz podcast. This will basically be random topics. We'll probably touch on throughout however long we'll run this podcast for.
Something
Some of the
different.
topics will probably run back.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And we're just gonna go ahead and start this thing.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Trish?
I'm fine. How are you?
For y'all that don't know, that's Trish. I'm T. I go by Tierra, and some people call me Sky for people that have known me in the dance world.
Yeah.
And inside of Baltimore City. But anyway,
Yep.
So we're gonna start this thing off right with something that's been hitting social
Oh
media.
boy. So I have no idea what we're getting ready to talk about.
Oh
boy.
what?
Here we go.
It is real popular on socials right now.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that happened this week and over the last coming weeks. I'll say over the last month. With Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Oh man.
We just gonna start this thing off right. So Trish.
Yes.
Is Angel Reese living in Caitlin Clark's shadow?
As much as people want her to, no. I don't think so.
I personally don't think so as well. I feel like, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, like y'all can feel how you feel about it. I feel like they're in two different lanes. They're gonna remain in two different lanes. They just so happen to coincide because of the little, face gesture or whatnot from last year's championship game. You're gonna have people that are gonna argue, well, I was watching Caitlin prior to, but the viewership wasn't there yet.
But people were also watching Angel prior to that. Like
they were, and to be honest, like the ratings and the viewership like went through the roof
yeah.
last year when this happened.
Which so I don't think that should have been the reason that people decided they hated Angel Reese all of a sudden.
I think that was like the tip of the iceberg. Like that was what made people go, either I'm on the side of Angel Reese or I'm not on the side of Angel Reese. You're gonna have people that are gonna argue she shouldn't have followed her around the court. Because she did it to the bench or whatever else, but she did it a couple of times throughout those playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But the most known time that Caitlin Clark did it supposedly was like towards the bench or whatnot.
Yeah.
Angel Reese kind of like, I watched a couple of her interviews, like, post whatever that this was.
Uh-huh.
And the only thing that I could really say towards it is that little gesture that she did. She said, and I quote, it's because she disrespected South Carolina, and Angel wasn't with it because she felt like, her disrespecting, I believe it was Raven Johnson.
I don't know.
I think that's her name, from South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
The same girl that kind of went off on Caitlin Clark during the championship game this year,
mm-hmm.
came back with a vengeance. Because like, to be honest, Caitlin Clark did kind of like light a fire up under her, because like, she went through her little things or whatnot. But I feel like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are two good players at their different positions. Like they're really good for what they do. They bring two different things to the game.
Yeah, and I think it's unfair that instead of letting each of them be successful and respect each other as players, because they respect each other, y'all want them to be in competition with each other. Besides playing on different teams, why do they have to be mortal enemies for y'all to want to watch these games? I don't understand that part at all.
I can honestly say, like, I really just don't understand, because both of them just look at it like it's a game.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody else is like, it's a rival. And if that's going to grow the women's game, like Caitlin Clark said earlier today,
right?
Or I think it was her interview today, or it was last night or whatnot.
Okay. Yeah.
And she was just like, the media views it as a rivalry, but also what Caitlin is missing is her fans like view this as a rivalry as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing that's missing from what's going on between these two players. Is both of them, I feel like on the court, they're fine.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody else is going to make a big deal out of it. Prime example, like Angel Reese said, the media was going to blow the cap off of when, she went to go swat for the ball. And people are like, you got people like Emmanuel Acho or whatever with his goofy self talking about like it was done purposefully. The whole time Angel Reese's eyes are on that
the ball. Like you can see
Was
that
it
her
the
goal
best?
was not that girl's head. Like, come on, y'all.
And it was crazy. Was it the best swat at the ball? Absolutely not. Obviously, because she hit on top of the head. And the correct call was made at the time. It was a flagrant one. They called it how they should have. It was absolutely a flagrant one by rules.
Mm.
Getting hit in the head is, or swat in the head is a flagrant one. It's a flagrant foul. Now, depending on like whether or not it was intentional or not, could upgrade it to a flagrant two.
It wasn't intentional.
It was
It
definitely
was
not
not.
intentional.
There have been intentional fouls. That was not one of them.
I mean, for y'all that haven't slowed that clip down and watched it from all angles, she definitely is looking at the ball.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because, to be honest, if Angel Reese had slowed her roll, her homegirl was coming out of nowhere. I think it was Harrison. Harrison was getting ready to block
Yeah,
the
there was
fire out
another
that
one
shot,
right. Yeah, she
like
was
right
right
behind
there.
her. So like, it's a learning lesson for Angel.
Yeah.
Like my thing is, Angel's not really a supreme shot blocker like that. I think there's been like a couple like huge Angel Reese like shot blocks when she was in college. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Like the play where she had her shoe off and she had her shoe in her hand or whatever because it got knocked off and she blocked the girl's shot and basically like came down and was flexing.
Right.
I don't think it's her strength yet. But I feel like it will eventually be um a strength of hers is her game progresses in the W. And then there
Mhm.
was like some I think when they played South Carolina this year, like her and Cardoso was basically like going head to head and they had like a series of blocks on each other like back to back. Um which I feel like if Angel gets heated enough, like that's probably in her repertoire, but it's just not there yet. And she's
Mm.
in a league where, the average player, for a center is probably like between 6'5" and 6'7". Like that just is what it is. She's a four,
Mm.
So I feel like Caitlin Clark is definitely playing Caitlin Clark's game. Um, over these last couple of weeks, I feel like it got a lot better.
Mhm.
Um, I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely. But on the overall, Angel has been outperforming playing when she's playing. Like,
Absolutely for her position, because you got people that are gonna argue like her rebounds, like she get more, of her own rebounds, and I'm like, okay, let's look at the stats over the last couple of weeks. Her shot percentage is progressively game over game gotten better. Like one game she had like 80% shooting or something from the field. And I think like this past game she probably had like 50 something percent, 52% shooting. So
mhm.
like she's developing and she's growing. And majority of her rebounds over these last two games were defensive rebounds. So what does that tell you? She's not missing most of her shots.
Mm.
They're not a ton of offensive rebounds, although she does lead the league, I believe, in offensive rebounds. Like I had to look that up, but I'm pretty sure like
Mm.
I'm like spot on with that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I don't think that she's living her shadow. I just think
No.
they're in two different lanes. Like Caitlin Clark fans are Caitlin Clark fans. We already know, like, if it wasn't for her, the viewership for the most part in the league would be terrible.
Yeah, and I mean you can say that, but why I keep asking why do we have to pick one over the other? Like that they do this to women in if it's actresses, music, they do this all the time. Like you have to pick one over the other. Like there's not enough room for everyone to show up and play and succeed. And there's more than enough room, especially when they're two different positions. Like, come on, y'all.
Um,
Why do we keep doing this?
I feel like it's that whole good versus evil thing that they're trying to like
Yeah.
make a big deal out of. There are two different types of people. The problem with most of the Caitlin Clark viewership, I feel like they're pissed off because Angel Reese doesn't come off as humble as they would like her to. So they start using words that we all know are substitution words for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's gotta
and
stop.
ghetto being one of them. She's loud, she's obnoxious.
Mm,
Like it's just
she's
a
not.
lot. Like I'm like they're NBA players that have similar personalities to her on the male side.
Yeah.
So it's just like y'all really don't have a point. Now it's like certain things, like certain times she's in the media. A lot of times they show y'all what they want to show y'all
Mhm.
instead of like showing you like the whole full clip of an interview that she had. Prime example, she spoke out about the refs. I believe it was the last Fever game they played, and she was like, I guess certain players got a special whistle. Meaning, and the crazy part is she really wasn't even talking about Caitlin Clark. Under that basket, she was getting a fur tool out of her, bro. They swatting at her, wasn't calling nothing.
Yeah, they took that
They
to
would
not
not.
they someone almost broke her neck. And
That was a whole nother game. But
but we rolled past that.
Yeah, they barely showed that in the media. Like,
right.
It was like, oh, she got clothesline, boom. But then they tried to say Angel clothesline Caitlin Clark. It wasn't even a clothesline. I was like, do y'all know the definition of a clothesline? Like, that is
y'all
wild.
didn't watch WWE? Y'all didn't watch that? Like, no. It's just it's not being called equally, and that's a problem. That's a problem across all sports. However,
yeah, and the
it's been quite prevalent. Yeah,
bad refs, like period, point blank. There was missed calls on both sides of the ball. It just wasn't Angel Reese.
No,
but for the most part, it looked like, to be honest, the refs purposely weren't calling anything on Angel Reese, and somebody could argue it's because she spoke out in an interview, prior to.
But if you're that sensitive, you shouldn't be reffing the game. You can't be that sensitive. Like,
and with her calling the refs out now, like it's gonna be hard for her, specifically probably when she's not home. And they have home court advantage. I guarantee you on the road it's gonna be tough. But at the end of the day, that is the sport. We know how sports are refed.
Yeah, it's not always
you're gonna
fair.
have good refs and you're gonna have terrible refs that are gonna make and break some of these games.
True.
And that's just is what it is. And I think her losing that day, and if she's not used to losing a ton, she probably was just frustrated. But people try to say like it was after Caitlin Clark, and I'm like, y'all need to watch the whole press conference because y'all people be missing certain details.
Yeah, it's the soundbite thing that everybody does. You take the soundbite and you blow up the soundbite and you put no context. But the problem is that the consumers, people who are watching the media, don't try to go find. Like, y'all have to go find some of these things and not just take that 10-second little sound clip for what it is.
The problem is there's a gang of people supporting either one of them on either one of the sides that really don't know the sport too well, and they speak out about both of these players without having the knowledge behind what they're actually saying. They just quick to jump on the train. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all don't believe that stuff Angel Reese was talking about, where people like, yeah, she said she gonna be the villain, and da da da. I'm like, bro, she been the villain since the moment she did this. It was over.
And
I don't care what she said or did after that. It was
if she did or didn't own it, embrace it, speak about it, it would have it was happening no matter what. Yeah.
Like, people want to argue, no, she made herself the villain. No, she probably just took on the role because like it was given to her anyway. So I guess she like, let me just take it on. And it probably does take tolls on her, like, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it does because I've seen some of the comments under some of her posts, and it is like absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
these people really be after this woman, this young lady, like literally after her. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and move on along, y'all. And comment what y'all want about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the comments.
We're gonna have the same rules for our comments that we have under our videos. Respectful comments, even if you disagree, we'll tolerate. The minute you cross that line, disrespectful, you'll be deleted. Like we're not.
Probably talk to you.
Yeah, we're not doing the disrespectful route. We won't be, and we expect you not to be either. So those are the.
We can have a difference of opinion.
Absolutely.
Next up. This right here is about to take you out though. Because I feel like I got in a conversation with somebody about this, and it was funny their take that they had on it.
Okay.
All right. Are you here for PDA or not?
To an extent. To a point. Yeah.
What's to a point though?
I don't think we need to be making out like we belong in the bedroom in public.
Okay.
Hand holding, kissing is fine. Hugging, obviously. I don't think we need to be dry humping outside. Sorry.
Okay.
I think that's too far.
That's a little bit too far.
That's the point that some people take it to. Did you see that video of the people in the park in New York under a blanket?
See, that right there was like that's too much. That's not even PDA at that point. That's literally indecent exposure in public. Like that's completely different. That's a whole other route. I feel like I recently just had a conversation with one of my coworkers where as though they pretty much the affection piece in public was fine, but when they were home chilling, they said they didn't want to, like, they weren't as like into it. And I was like, wait a minute, like that is completely like backwards.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
yeah, I would think that's yeah.
But I also feel like this. We got basically one life to live. And people that are kind of like weird about PDA, I'm not saying like you got to be all up on the person or in their
Yeah.
face or whatever, like the whole entire time you're out. But like, if you don't touch that person now, you're not gonna touch them when they dead.
Ooh.
And that's like the
Hmm.
realization I had about it, like over the last couple of days, because like this was something that was sitting on my mind after I had that
Hmm.
conversation with the coworker, about whatever, past relationship she had or whatever, and we were just talking about it, and I'm just like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, we're so caught up in stupid stuff, right? So if you claim that you love that person or that person is your partner or whomever it is, husband, wife,
Hmm.
whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, titles, no titles, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Right.
So if something happened to that person today or tomorrow, would you not? Would you go to their funeral and afterward and have like the thought process of, damn, like that time
Like
they
I
tried to
wish I
hold
had.
my, I
Yeah.
wish I was
Hmm.
more affectionate towards this person and now they not even here anymore. So like you got that aspect of it. I don't know, maybe I took it too deep,
That's no.
but
That's almost a level I overthink things kind of because normally it's me who says stuff like that. But yeah, I get it.
I don't know. Like I
I
feel
get
like
it.
people are so caught up in the noun that they're not thinking ahead.
I think if it's the right person, you're going to want to hold their hand, touch them.
But that also implies that you have couples out here that, and I mean ones that have been together forever or
Hmm.
for a very long time, that are not it for each other. Because that's basically what you just implied. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
like you're right or wrong, but
I mean, I think that also plays a part as well. If it's the right person, I think you're going to want to touch them. If it's not, you won't be upset if they don't reach for your hand. I feel like.
I don't know. I'm just like, if that's your person, like what difference does it make if they try to hold your hand in public? And also
Yeah.
it kind of makes me think about what person are you really like, because I feel like certain people that are like that are also trying to hide in plain sight.
Mhm.
Um, Meaning that
Mhm.
they got side piece, side chick, side
Uh-huh.
dude, side somebody. Like you doing a little bit too much. Like you're really out here in plain sight trying to hide. But I don't know. Y'all can leave
Okay.
us some comments below about how you feel about that. All right,
Uh-oh.
now
Uh-oh.
this is something that's also been in the media here lately.
Okay.
Are you paying to take photos with Chris Brown? And I'm saying this
Mm.
as if you can take it from 2 points of view. If you
Okay.
had the money, would you do it? And if you don't have the money, or I'm not gonna say you don't have it, but like it's gonna put you in a tight spot.
Uh-huh.
Are you doing it?
Um I am not as big of a fan, so I would not. However, I would make sure she got to because she has been a huge Chris Brown fan. So I think for me, the fan level, I would not. But if you're that level of fan, yeah, absolutely. I think you should because you can't take the money with you when you go.
No, but I also feel like for me, the novelty of meeting him wore off when I met him in the mall or saw him in the
Oh
mall.
yeah, oh
So
yeah, we
it's just
saw him
like,
at the mall one time. True, I forgot about that.
am I about to come out my pocket on a stack, a little over a stack, just to, stand in line to get my picture taken with Chris Brown? No, I feel like he is supremely, like he's a generational talent. And that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Michael Jackson was one of my favorite artists growing up as a kid. I wouldn't even have pay if he was still living. I still probably wouldn't pay that to go see him
Really?
now.
That surprises me. Really?
I feel like that's a
Okay.
waste of money. I would pay that on tickets to like be as close as I could, but as far as like actually having a picture, like I just feel like I get the picture last long, but like the experience lasts longer in my mind
There's
as far as the
only
show was concerned.
to be on there's only one artist I would pay that for to do a meet and greet. It's only one and if I had it, if I could, I would. If I didn't have the money though, I'm not going to put myself in a worse spot than I am. I'm gonna go to the show, but if I can't afford the meet and greet as much as I would for that particular artist, I'm not gonna kick myself out like that.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna do it.
saying I don't think that I would do it. Um, whether I could afford it or not.
I would
Um,
not for Chris Brown. Not definitely not.
no, I'm good.
Love his music though. His tour looks like it's fire, but no,
It is,
I'm
and
not
some of the
paying for
pictures
the.
are really funny. Like I'm getting hella entertainment out of them.
Yeah,
And my thing is this.
I don't understand why people are mad that he's taking photos that people want to take. Like even if someone wants to do something borderline inappropriate, if he is willing to do that, y'all gotta leave it
No, I
alone.
think people are mad because some of these girls per se. There's been guys that have taken photos with him,
Hmm.
over the last however many weeks or however long he's been on
Right.
tour. But I feel like it's mainly people who I guess the chicks in relationships or whatever, and people like I don't know if I will let my partner do that and dot. My thing is this: she paid a hard earned cash for it, and I feel like at that respect, dudes, you need to know what kind of chick you dating
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, like who knows? Some of these girls that probably is their hall pass. I
might
don't
be,
know.
might be.
I don't think for me the money is worth it because I feel like back in the day you just meet a celebrity, get in line, and don't get me wrong, there was always some type of payment to like get to see the artist after the show or whatnot. Like there was always some type of form of that, but like as much as it costs right now, I'm good. You damn near paid another ticket's worth of
Yeah, really,
trying
you
to,
did.
get a picture with Chris Brown. And I get it, like they'll forever have that photo with him, and that's cool.
Yeah,
But that's not for everybody. I don't think it would
no,
particularly be for me.
no, it
Is what
definitely
I'm
is not
getting
for
at.
me either. But if it's for you, do it. Hey,
Do it for sure.
right? Don't let us tell you not to.
Um. Alrighty.
Sorry,
This
y'all.
is
That was
something
the
that I
cat.
saw
Hmm.
while I was like just randomly scrolling through TikTok, and it was an Asian chick,
Oh, oh,
and this is a conversation to be had because I know what I think about it. I'm
okay.
not, and it's an opinion. Don't fight us. So here it is. Who was more influential on fashion, the black community or the gays?
Um, the black
Yeah.
community. I feel like.
And the crazy part is, the Asian chick also said the black community.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like even the gay community got their inspiration from the black
a
community,
lot. Yeah, I think
specifically
so.
the black female. But she had a valid point about the black male's influence on culture as well, as
Right.
far as dress style for men, haircuts, as far as R&B music from the cat
Sorry, y'all. This is
in
the
the
cat.
video.
She might end up in one of our laps.
I just feel like it's this is a discussion to be had because the black female is very influential. A lot of credit was not given to her. And as
In
far
a
as
lot of
fashion,
things, but
a
yeah.
lot of things in fashion have came from out of the black community, whether
Mhm.
people know it or not. And I think she also brought up like the black influence on like K-pop originally. Like they sent people over
Mm.
here to study like R&B and hip hop, specifically like from the '90s or whatnot.
Hmm.
Did not know that.
I was say I've never heard that, but
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like especially the black auntie, like that is a huge influence to like I've seen in the gay community. Now I'm not gonna say it's all, but I feel like the black auntie definitely had an influence on the gay community. Um, it's just a lot about the attitude that comes with it, not just necessarily the style itself, but like
oh, here
that
she comes.
attitude behind it is what it is. Um, y'all can leave in the comments which way y'all think that is. I don't know.
Right.
But I will say that you can see a lot of black influences inside of fashion and the gay community as well.
Yeah.
Which is funny that people like, yeah, the gay community had a lot of. I feel like now it's well known that Hollywood fashion, popular fashion is pretty much ran by the gays. Now, where that came from, you could argue the gay people started it, or you can argue that it came from the black community,
Mm.
specifically the black auntie,
Hmm.
which that's what I would tie it back to, but I could be wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. All right, moving along.
Oh.
So she already has a kid.
Okay.
If you had to get pregnant again, what is the cutoff age?
Mm. I always thought my cutoff was going to be 35. Um, Having said that, only having one, still wanting another, I don't know now. Now that I have hit that age, and I still want another one, I don't know.
I don't know. I just seen in the news recently there was a 52, 53-year-old woman who literally just had a
Mm-mm.
baby. I
That's
was like,
that's way too.
I was like,
From
you about
I
to get
know I
another
don't know
kid.
what my young cutoff age is, but I know that's
You were literally about on your last egg at that point. That is for sure. It's no way you wasn't on your last egg. That was her last hope
sorry,
right
y'all.
there.
This is the neediest cat.
And that's even if she wanted to get pregnant on purpose.
Right? It could
Because
have been
it
accidental.
could have been accidental. She might have been out here in the streets
That's a
having fun.
big surprise.
Or I don't know, maybe it was her husband. I have no idea. But I would put it to you this way: that's you over a half a century mark.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
I don't know. I remember we used to joke. So my dad he is older. He's going to be 70 soon. They used to joke that they were going to have to wheel him down the aisle when I got married because he was so much older than like all of my friends' dads, but that did not happen. But I think there comes an age where I think you just if you not gonna be able to do them 2-3 hour sleeps and get up and take care of baby, no, you gotta cut it off. I don't know what that age is gonna be, but I'd give it at most maybe 5 more years before I'm like, nah, mm-mm.
Yeah, I honestly would say the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like to be honest, like if my body's still healthy in my 40s, like that probably would be the cutoff in my early
yeah,
40s, possibly. I don't
yeah.
know. We will see. But if I had to think of extreme cases, like
I mean, if it happens
that's on the
after that
extreme
and
side.
and it's healthy and I'm healthy, sure, but I don't imagine ever wanting to try past that age.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely don't. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Like, who
Mm-mm.
wants to be chasing around a toddler past a certain point? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's
Mm-mm.
not even about when they can't roll over and lack of sleep. It's about them getting up and being all over the place because toddlers
Toddler
just try to
energy is
kill.
a
They
whole
try to kill
different
themselves all the
man,
time. Like, they don't even know that they're trying to kill themselves. They
but they
literally are
do.
trying to kill
Yeah.
themselves.
Mm-mm.
Like, no, I'm good.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, like
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like that early 40 mark cutoff, somewhere in the early
Yeah.
40s, is like a mm-mm,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
no, we won't be doing this.
Yeah. By then, if I've still only got one, then that's the only one I'm gonna have. So,
Mm.
hey.
Well, what can we say? All right, y'all. That'll conclude the first podcast we have. Well, we'll see, moving forward, like what topics, you know, hit,
You can
comment,
leave suggestions or ask,
suggestions,
for us to visit certain topics. Feel free.
because we definitely will do
Not
that.
promising that we will, but if it's one we can discuss, there are some things that if we neither one of us have a knowledge of, we probably won't because we just don't want to be sounding crazy or uneducated. But most things we can probably talk about to an extent.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, but anywho, we'll see you guys whenever we shoot this next one. Say now, we just got to figure out. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
well,
our uploads will probably be in the middle of the week.
okay.
Don't know which day yet, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure middle of the week, probably between Tuesday and Wednesday for sure.
So
Um,
if you happen to find us and you don't follow if you don't know our reaction channel, find our reaction channel, Black and White Reacts. Also go see us there. So we have the
I
reaction
mean, 9 times
channel.
out of 10, this will probably be on the reaction
Yeah, but
channel.
let's say they pop up recommended. They've never seen us before. Follow, go to our page and
Follow us,
Yeah.
look out for us. Um, we'll be coming every week. We still shooting reaction videos,
Mm-hmm.
probably 2 uploads a week. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, like, comment, share,
Subscribe
hit that notification
and
bell,
come back and see us.
and definitely come back and see us. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.